Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Here we are at the end of February, so it's time to do a roundup of all of the products I have been testing lately. I have some really good stuff to talk about this time. Let's get right into it. So let's start with this Kogendo foundation. So this was a journey to even get this into my collection. This is a Japanese beauty brand. Normally here in the States, it's over $100 a bottle. So it was always one of those things where I would hear rave reviews about it and then I'd be like, well, that's okay. I'm never gonna buy that. Well, it came to my attention that you can get this on YesStyle for $30-something. So that's how I ordered mine. I ordered the shade 002 and it is what I'm wearing today. I think it's a pretty good shade match. I was really stressed out trying to pick a shade, so I'm really glad that worked out. So this is called the Aqua foundation. And I found that, well, for any foundation, of course, you really need to prep your skin beforehand. But in the case of this one, it's especially because I needed my skin to be hydrated first. Otherwise, this would sink right into my skin and I had to use a lot of it. It is a very thin foundation and my skin just drinks it right up. It actually feels a little skincare that way, but at the same time, not necessarily serum-y, more watery. Anyway, but if I do, make sure, prep my skin enough. One pump is enough. And I've been using it all month and I've been kind of just struggling to determine what finish I would call it. It's definitely a natural finish, but it is one of those products that the longer I wear it, I notice it just looks a little bit more creamy on my skin. Not dewy, but it just wears in really well. It looks better and better the longer that I wear it. So I think it's very, very nice. I was kind of hoping for a dupe for the Makeup Forever Reboot foundation that is discontinued, but this I would say is not really a dupe of that. The Makeup Forever is more dewy. This is definitely its own thing. I'm enjoying it. The mascara I was testing this month, the Covergirl Wrap mascara, Covergirl Eye Enhancer Wrap mascara. This is a tubing mascara, which means I was extra excited to try it. And check out how my lashes look today. I think for a tubing mascara, that's fantastic. So many of them barely do anything. This one does a good job. This is what the wand looks like. In comparison to, say, the e.l.f. lash extender, I would say the e.l.f. lash extender is better at making your lashes longer, but this one builds faster. It wears great, removes just like a tubing mascara should with warm water, and I haven't had any bad experiences with flaking or anything. I actually think it's a good one. Personally, I think I will stick to the e.l.f. lash extender over this one just because I like the lengthening better on that one, but I still like this just fine. I will very happily be using this for several more months yet. This is from Coloupop and this was from their Tangled collection. This is the first time I have tried their liquid highlighter. So this particular shade is called I See the Light. It's a very different shade from anything I have. And I realize it can be very difficult to properly show when it's blended out, but it's a gold that flashes pink. I still have a broken wrist, but I'm gonna try my best to do a little bit of swatching today. So there you can see how it's gold, but it's flashing pink. A little bit of this goes a long way. In fact, today I applied way too much on this side and I had to tone it down with a sponge, but I think it's beautiful. It doesn't dry down too quickly, but it does eventually dry down. It doesn't stay wet or sticky. I can absolutely see the appeal of this type of liquid highlighter. Okay, let's do a couple of blushes and then we can get into some of my flower nose products that came this month. Okay, so this blush from Glossier, I know I've already been talking about it. I talked about it in my last blush roundup video, but I have not officially reviewed it on my channel yet, so let me do that. This is the Cloud Paint Plush Blush. I have the shade Gale. I think out of all the squishy blushes I have tried lately, this is my favorite. For one thing, the shade. I mean, you knew going in, right? I really have a weakness for this type of slightly peachy, neutral, pinky blush. And while every single one of these kind of squishy formulas has that beautiful blurring quality on the skin, I don't know if it's just for some reason this shade, but I think it just might be the formula. It's even more blurring. I noticed it. It was one of those I put it on, you catch yourself in the mirror later and you're like, whoa, I look super blurred and smooth, and I get that effect every time with this blush. I think this probably edges out the Rare Beauty for me in terms of formula and which one I like better. I still really like both. It might be the color that I love so much here. But as for the blush that I'm wearing today, This is one of the Morphe face trios. Now this is specifically the shade After Party, and oh, this is beautiful. I have a video trying the cream on this side and then the powder on this side. I will put that up on the screen. I would say the cream of all three of these formulas is probably the most sheer. Very easy to work with. Not super dewy looking, but it has that very nice kind of natural finish. The powder as well, really nice actually on the skin. Both of these are products I would like on their own, but combined together, oh, I love that finish. I actually picked this up because a friend of mine is obsessed with these. She has almost every single shade, and the finish on this is so distinctive. I can tell when she is wearing one of her Morphe face trios. It has the most interesting, smoothing texture when you combine these. Now, I am not wearing the metallic shade here just because I wanted to wear that other highlighter, but when I wear this, I tend to wear it as a blush topper. I put it here, and I don't necessarily count it as a highlighter just because it's so dark, but that shade, I'm going to see if I can show you how metallic that is. Yeah, it's fairly metallic, very pigmented, but just tapped a little bit on top right here. Goodness. Those face trios have gotten a decent amount of hype, and I think it's absolutely worth it. If there's a shade that you are drawn to, I would recommend it. Okay, let's get into these flower nose products. So I can't review them all today. I'm still in the middle of reviewing some of them, but I can let you know about a few. Let's start off with this lip cream. So this is from the Strawberry Rococo collection. If you're not familiar with flower nose, they have very beautiful, cute packaging. They release everything in capsules. That's all themed. This particular one, again, was, like I said, Strawberry Rococo. This is the shade Tea Break, and as you can see, it is soft matte and very blurring. In fact, when I put it on, I like to put just a little bit on my top and bottom lip and blur it out with my finger. They have this lip cream in so many different shades. This one, Tea Break, because it's from the Strawberry Rococo collection, it smells like berries. I'm a big fan of this kind of whipped lip cream formula, and I think it is very much like an Asian beauty type formula. I've seen it a little bit in like Western brands, but it's the same type of formula as, say, like the Kaleidos lip clays. They're very comfortable on the lips, and I'm really pleased with this. Let's talk about this blush. I feel like with every capsule collection that they release a different blush formula. I have only tried this one so far. So this was from the Shells Jewel collection. This is the shade Sun-Kissed Coral. And this is what they call their Silk Satin blush. I was actually just messaging my friend about this. She actually got the exact same blush, and both of us came to the conclusion separately. Like I messaged her, she messaged me, that the texture of this is really special. Silk Satin is a really good description of it. This is one of those with that kind of baked gelée formula, and it feels like it just lays incredibly close to the skin, and it has the most gentle, beautiful glow. This is one where I will just take a brush and kind of boop it, and when I just kind of press it in, and it looks like kind of like I'm wearing a cream. It's not intensely pigmented, but it's not lacking in pigment either. I really, really like this formula. And if I didn't want to try a bunch of other things, I would probably get more shades of this. I think this is a really, really good one. Everything, by the way, has a nice magnetic closure. And I have a couple of eyeshadow palettes to talk about. So first, the one that I'm wearing today. Isn't this cute? This is from the Sweetie Bear collection. And this is the Buttery Croissant palette. Feast your eyes on this cute neutral palette. In my crease today, I mixed this one, and this one to get that kind of warm shade through my crease there. I have this more gold, very sparkly shade on my outer corner. Oh, I hope you can see how sparkly that is. And then this champagne sparkle shade on my inner lid. I'm gonna try and get you some swatches. I was surprised by how sparkly those sparkle shades are. Aren't they beautiful? So this is only my second brand from China that I'm trying. The only other Chinese makeup brand I've tried is Kaleidos Makeup, and they have a very different formula. These ones are that really beautiful baked type of sparkle shade. As for the pigmentation of the mattes, they're not nearly as pigmented as Kaleidos, but they're not super sheer like some of the K-Beauty or J-Beauty brands I've tried. They are, however, very blendable, and this particular palette smells like chocolate. Absolutely adorable. And I admit I did choose this color story on purpose, despite its kind of boring brownness. I just knew that it would be one that I would wear a lot. The other palette I'm ready to review for you is from the Swan Ballet series, and this is palette number 1, the White Swan. Isn't it pretty? And this is what the inside looks like. Oh, it's so pretty. This particular sparkle shade over here, it's my favorite type of pinky champagne. I love that color. Here are the 2 sparkle shades from that palette. This is the more white one, and this is the more pinky toned one. Oh, they're beautiful. And the mattes on this one, you know, they're a little bit more peachy pinky. Again, very easy everyday shades to wear. I don't really notice a scent on this one. I have been really pleased with the quality of my Flower Nose products, which is one of those things, I mean, I saw the brand a couple years ago, but at that time it wasn't as popular, and I was kind of like, I don't know, is it cutesy, but doesn't really have good makeup? I can tell you, not only is the makeup, you know, very cutesy, but I really enjoy the product. I do have a couple more that I will be reviewing next month, namely the Shell palette here. This is Moonlight Pearl. And then from their new collection, I'm thinking I might use this one in a Get Ready With Me. This is the Moon Serenade palette, and I picked it for all of its very pretty, cool tones. But I haven't had a chance to really wear these. I think I've worn this one only once, so I will save those for next time. Thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. This is always where I like to share both my tea of the day, and at the end of these types of videos, roundups, I like to share if there was anything good that I read in the past month. Let's start with the tea, I guess. Today I'm just drinking a matcha latte, nothing special. So I tend to be really, really picky with 5-star reads. I haven't really had a new one lately, so I've decided that when this happens, I'm just gonna share one of my favorite classics. So this one's called The Scarlet Pimpernel. So this is set during the French Revolution. The Scarlet Pimpernel is a code name for an Englishman who keeps going over to France and rescuing French aristocrats before they are beheaded. And of course, the French, oh, now I can't think of what he's called, but he's like the guy in charge of tracking down these missing French nobility. He, of course, is trying to figure out who the Englishman is. He actually goes over to England. So in the story, there's some travel between England and France. So not only is it a story about spies and, you know, creeping around in the dead of night, that sort of thing, it's also a love story, and it's one of my favorite little love stories, because it's between a husband and wife that are already married to each other, but they've grown apart due to some unfortunate, serious misunderstandings. Normally, I hate that communication trope where if they would just talk to each other, it would be resolved. But the story of how they finally reconcile by the end of the book is so sweet and so good. If you decide to try this, just hang in there for the first couple of chapters. It can be really difficult, I felt, to kind of get into the language style, and even as the first chapter I thought was really boring, or the first more than one chapter. So hang in there. It gets really exciting real quick. Please leave any book recommendations down in the comments. I would love a book recommendation. I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Bye.